Hey guys, this is Cyriljeet from Technic Force, and today I want to talk to you about GDPR. It's a new regulation that's worrying a lot of people, and rightly so, because it requires a difference, a total change in the way you handle data. And today I'm going to show you WP GDPR Fix. It's a new plugin that we've created with an aim to help you be more GDPR compliant. And this plugin will actually take care of 7 key requirements of GDPR. 7 very important things that you have covered because of this plugin, and it's going to make your journey to total GDPR compliance very easy. So let's get started and take a look at how exactly it works. When you log in into WP GDPR Fix, you will be taken to the compliance screen where you will see all the things that you need to do before you get GDPR compliant. So you can see on the screen that these are the things that you need to handle: cookie consent, terms and conditions policy, privacy policy, right to be forgotten, data access requirement requests, data breach notifications, data rectification requirements. All of these things will have to be compliant. You will have to set them up to be more GDPR compliant. And of course, at the top, you see one more option: accept EU traffic. If you want to refuse EU traffic, you don't need to comply. So you can actually do that with this plugin too. But I'm going to show you how to set up things to be more compliant. So the first thing you need to set up is the cookie consent, which means you need to inform every one of your viewers, your visitors, that you track cookies, and you typically do if you got any sort of Facebook pixel or analytics or any tracking code on your blog. You will be tracking cookies. So you need to inform EU visitors. You don't need to take the permission, but you need to inform. So when you come to cookie consent, you can set up your own message here. You can even set up your colors, what color text you want, what color background you want, where exactly you want this to appear. All of these settings are possible. And we even have a default message. So if you don't want to type in your own message, think of your own message, you can use the default text. And when you're done, just click on save settings, and let's make sure that it displays on all pages, and that's it. So when your visitor comes to the website next, they will see this screen which has your message there and the cookie consent, and if they click on OK, it won't be shown to them again. So this is how cookie consent works. You need to get the consent to make sure that you comply with the cookie consent requirement of the GDPR policy. The next is the terms and conditions setup requirement. You need to have a valid terms and conditions policy. You can set one up according to your own business's unique needs, and you just need to tell WP GDPR Fix what your terms and conditions policy is, and this is how you do it. So first, you have the option to make people see your terms and conditions policy. If they have not agreed to accept it, they will not be shown your blog content. And if you do that, everyone can be redirected to the terms and conditions policy first, even if they are signed in users, or if they are unsigned users, people who are visiting your website for the first time maybe, or who have not subscribed to you yet. Also, it does maintain the version number of the TNC policy. Every time you change the version number, it's going to force people to come to the TNC policy again and accept it again. Now, GDPR does not ask you to mandatorily show them the TNC policy before they use the website. So you can just keep it to no, have a valid terms and conditions policy, select what is your TNC. So select the page there. You need to set that up. And when they accept, you need to tell GDPR Fix where you want them to go. You can send them back to the page they were on. And if you want, you can just keep them on the terms and conditions page, or if you want, you can send them to the home page of the website. Whatever you want, set it up and click save settings. Now in the compliance screen, I can see that my cookie consent is set, that my terms and conditions policy is also met. So as you continually meet all the requirements, as you set up the plugin correctly, all the requirements will be met, and you will be informed at the end that you are compliant with 7 aspects of GDPR requirements. Now let's have a look at the terms and conditions policy as well. So here's my terms and conditions policy, and at the bottom I can see that there is a checkbox to accept it. And if I'm set to redirect, if my TNC policy is not accepted in the TNC setup, then I'll be forced to come to this page first, accept it, and then I'll be able to further browse the website. So again, we've checked on the TNC policy and we are taken to the home page just as it is set up right now. Similarly, with the privacy policy, it's the same setup. You can redirect all signed in users to the privacy policy till they accept it. You can redirect all not signed in users to the privacy policy too till they accept it. And every time you change the version of the privacy policy, you're supposed to change the version anytime you make a change in the text of the privacy policy, the people will be taken to the privacy policy again and forced to accept it. So after you have selected your privacy policy and you have selected where you want to redirect, you can click on save settings and people will be asked to go to your privacy policy according to your setup. This time let's change it a bit. Let's redirect all the people who are not signed in to your privacy policy first before they see the content. So click on save settings, and now when I try to browse this website right over here, I'll be taken to the privacy policy first. So you can see the privacy policy URL and I can see the privacy policy text over here. I click on accept it and now I'm taken back to the home page. So now it's set up to show the people privacy policy mandatorily before they can browse the website, but it's not really needed even under GDPR, so you don't need to do that. Only in some marginal cases you might want to, but that's totally on you. Then you got the right to be forgotten, and on this page you can actually set up how you want people to be able to request you to forget the data. So what it just did was use the default text again, and anytime people make a request to you to forget the data, they will send this email and you will get a request that's logged in like this, and you'll be able to take an action with just one click of the button. So if you click on this button, for instance, their data will be forgotten and they'll be sent a confirmation email telling them that the data is forgotten. You can even see the requested data that they have asked for, so you can see what they have asked you to change. And finally you can delete the request itself if you want to, and I'm going to show you how people make this request. So forget data request, this is how the form looks. It will be a part of your blog. You can just show it using a quick shortcode which you can embed on any page, and that page will become your data request center and user request center. People can file data access request, forget data request, or rectify data request using that form. And here people can ask you to forget the WordPress comments, WordPress post, or WordPress user data, whatever data you might have on them, using just the email. They just need to type in their email here and submit a request, and the request will be sent to you inside admin, and they will be sent a confirmation mail asking them to confirm that they really want to forget that they really want you to forget the data they have asked for. And all of that will be trackable through the little grid over here, and you can set this up, the message and everything, the subject, admin email, the from email, and if any posts are deleted, then you can choose what email or what user to reassign them to. Or if you don't want to reassign them, you just want to lose them, then you can click on delete post, and the post will be deleted totally when people ask you to forget their data with you. And finally click on save settings, and that's all. So then your right to be forgotten requirement is also set up correctly. Similarly, data access notifications. Now when people want you to tell them what data you have on them, they can do that using the data access form, which is again a part of this form that you have, the user request form. So there is the data access request, they'll need to just put in the email and submit request, and the request will show up to you in the admin area. So if you refresh, you can see that I just filed the request by my own ID, and a confirmation link was sent. So if I agree to actually access the data, if somebody has done it on anyone else's behalf, then of course they won't get the data. So there'll be a confirmation mail going to them asking them to confirm that they've actually requested the data that they've requested, and when they say yes, the data will be sent to them using the little notification system. Again, we have the default setup for you, so you can just click on use default text and everything will be set up, and you can send them the requested data by just clicking on one button. Just like earlier, it's totally hands-free, nothing much to do, just one click and the data will be sent to them in JSON acceptable format, which they can use, which they can edit, and they can even return back to you, or they can inspect in every manner. Then we also have the data breach notification system. This is also a requirement under GDPR. If there is any data breach, you need to notify all the users, and this setup, this segment of the plugin can be used to notify anyone of any data breach. Again, we have default setup for you, and you can put in whatever text you want to put in whenever there is a data breach, and you can send data breach notifications just by clicking one button. So click on save settings to save your message, and if you want to modify it, and whenever you are ready to send a data breach notification due to any bad circumstance, Click on it, you'll be shown a list of all the people who will receive a message from you because they are the users of your WordPress setup. And when you click on send data breach notification, they will all get the message from you about the data breach. Then finally, there's a data rectification. So people can actually ask you to change the data that you have on them. Again, it's all set up for you. You just need to click on use default data and it will be set up in one go. When you click on save settings, it's already saved. And when people file a data rectification request with you using the form, again, it's all, it's available to them using the rectify data request. They can ask you to change whatever thing they want you to change. They can put in a little message, that this is what you need to change about the text that I have there, or the comment, or the WordPress post, or whatever user data they might have. They can drop a little message for you. Click on submit request and the request will be filed to you. When you go to your admin, you can see the request logged in right over here. So you can see the data request right over here, and you can see what they're asking you to change. And finally, there's the refuse EU visitors setup. If you don't want any traffic from EU, you can set this up. You can click on do not accept traffic from EU countries, and you can set up any page where you want them to go instead, maybe google.com or any other page, and click on save settings. In my opinion, this is an extreme measure. Until the time you feel that you need to do something else to be GDPR compliant and ensure 100% compliance, you can maybe do this for a few days while you do everything else you need to do to be compliant. Or maybe whenever you're making a change and you want to just send EU visitors away for a little while, you can do that. But in all, this is a pretty comprehensive plugin. It gives you 7 key features for compliance, and of course you might need to do a little bit on your own too, depending on your unique business model, but this will help you a long way by taking care of 7 important things.